Hey, what's up, guys? BTW here. And I just got done filming this episode where I go over the project, the um, Danchi's project, the Unbounded Sniper project, and I kind of go over all the compositions and all the work that it went into the video. And it was like a long ass video, and honestly, the mic audio did not get recorded. So I have to uh re-record this. And so I'm gonna go through this fast just because I do feel like the last video was a little bit too long. But here I've got my composition settings, my composition, my project panel here, and here you've got all the elements for the actual video. You've got sound effects, pictures, compositions, clips, um, and any other things that I might have used for this particular video. There is about at least over 30 actual compositions within this actual project, um, with the work going into five main compositions that I'll show you right here. So it starts off with let me see here. I'm gonna find off the track. So I pre-comp the track. So that's my first composition. It's just a pre-comp track with the audio as high quality as I could find it. And then we go to track two. This is where I did most of my work, and you'll see like this is all the time remapping data. Obviously, like these are extra keyframes here that don't actually show up in the actual composition, but they are part of uh of the of the video itself because they belong to the other clips and stuff like that, and they're not pre-comped. So yeah. um so the 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 keyframes that take place and that work within these layers are these that are below this actual like layer that's actually visible. So like you see this like transparent layer here, there's nothing there. So the keyframes don't mean anything there, but they do mean stuff here. I'd like to split my layers, so that's why you'll see like keyframes here that belong to a clip up here as well. But it really doesn't matter. I could have cleaned that up, but I just it's not like it's going to show in the actual final render anyway, as long as the clip is not extended to that length. You see, if I extend it to that length, it will show it. But um, what's it called? As long as it's cut at the right place, it works. So here we've got all these compositions. What's it called? There's masking. There's a lot of rotoscoping, a lot of 3D motion tracking. Um, You got the called Zodiac logo there, and then you'll see here with the called Zodiac logo here with this little guy here. As he's zooming in, you'll see that the text is kind of you can see the text here uh behind the black bars. I mean in front of the black bars, and his foot in front of the black bars, and his helmet and his gun in front of the black bars, which is a neat little touch that I like to add into my videos nowadays that show like layering. I think it looks cool. And yeah, it's a neat little touch. So it is like I was saying, the whole project is split between five main compositions. So this is where I did most of my layering and sequencing in composition two. The composition one is is nested within composition two, and that's the audio. And then we've got several compositions nested within this composition itself, like this one, this one, this one, this one. Most actual footage in this composition is pre-comped within the composition itself. So um then we've got composition three. This is where I did the intro, where I took the so this is just mostly the body of the work. So this is the body of the work. Danchi track edit 3 has the intro and the credits, I believe. Yeah, it has the intro and the credits. So, and I believe it has some sound work as well. So a lot of sound work. I do my sound work in After Effects. I was saying this before. I don't do it in Premiere Pro. Um, I find it a lot easier to work with After Effects and do everything in After Effects just because I feel very comfortable in the software. So here you've got all these layers basically. Um, this is the main adjustment layer, which has certain effects applied to it, particularly the optics compensation and the motion tell effect, which go to creating this black cinematic black bars and this kind of like zoom out kind of look. If you see in the window, this kind of like zoom in kind of look. Um, so I like to use those two effects kind of subtly and throughout the entire project itself. So you see all these keyframes and animations are for that particular effect. Here you've got like some stuff, some intro stuff. Um, what's called? You've got the Danchi track edit 2 composition nested within the composition 3. This has the audio work and the intro and the outro uh pretty much composited in there. So I did that here. Then we go to kind of like the final pass here. And this is where I add some more audio and some other minor touches. So like you'll see here, I added this like picture of the brain and this picture of an eye. So I mean this video of an eye. So I added all that in there. Um, Other than that, we added some more sound effects here and stuff. And then we got to the final pass, which is um the final Danchi edit here, which is the final edit where I put it all together. I like to put it in one final comp. You'll see that there was some missing sound effects that I added in there just for kind of like polishing up the video and everything. And then you'll see that the sound effects are turned off. That's because I rendered out the sound effects in a dot wave, sent it off to Jinx, and Jinx mastered the soundtrack. So here we've got mastered soundtrack. Um, by Jinx that we used in the video. And well, shout outs to Jinx, by the way. And so we brought that in there, turned off all the audio, and just left the audio layer that Jinx mastered within this, and then kept the visuals of the final composition here. And then it all worked out. You just render it out, and then it was pretty much finished. The reason for showing this, and I went into this in the previous video, but I'll go into it again. I just want to show the kind of work that goes into this kind of project. The last video was a lot more detailed in as far as like showing compositions and the kind of work that I did. Like for example, like look at all these keyframes here. I had to manually track this animation here. Um, Look at all those keyframes that I had to manually do. Here are more keyframes because I did it twice. Here are some more keyframes for this thing. Here's some more target keyframes and everything. So I just wanted to show like it's a lot of work that goes into these videos, guys. And just because it's a minute long doesn't mean that it's not taking that much effort. It takes the same amount of effort that I put into maybe even a little bit more a full project, which typically takes around 250 hours, 300 hours or so. So you're looking at about 50 to 75 hours on this project alone. I did this in 3 weeks, by the way. Um, and yeah, it came out really nice. I'm proud of it. Besides that, I just wanted to show like what kind of effort goes into these kind of videos because I think people see a 1 minute edit and they're like, oh, it's a short edit. It probably took them like 2 days to do. No, I did get done with the sequencing in like 1 or 2 days, but and some of the sound effects, but that's about it. Like everything else took a while to do. So and you can't really do it all at once because the vision for the project doesn't come all at once and everything. It has to it's kind of like a puzzle, basically. When you're putting it together, it's kind of like a puzzle. Like Black Hawk had said, the puzzle of a video is what it is. You try to fit the clip within the soundtrack and everything like that. So I'm gonna be doing more of these videos in the future, more of these short videos. So uh, yeah. Hopefully you like this video, and we'll go from there. See you in the next one, guys.